Hello viewers. So here in these examples, we'll be looking at how to obtain the equation of tan from their graphs, tan and cotan. So if you look at this one, this now, you can see that it's kind of is decreasing, right? So since it is decreasing, you can see it as a graph of negative tan, or you see it as a graph of cotan. So now let's try to see it as a graph of tan. We can find the period first. What is our period? Our period is going to be, remember the period is pi over k, and which is going to be the end minus what? The beginning. So this is pi over k is going to be, the end is pi over 2 minus the beginning is minus pi over 2. So this is pi over k is just going to be pi. Clearly k is equals to 1. All right, k is equals to 1. And we know that what is going to be a, look at a is going to be 2, or what's minus 2. But if you want to see it as a graph of tan, we know that the absolute value of a is 2. So we can take a to be negative 2. This is one option. Yeah, this means that you want to consider it as a graph of tan, right? And this, we can see that the horizontal, do we have a horizontal shift? Remember, horizontal shift is going to be minus b over k. But when you are dealing, anytime you are dealing with the graph of tan, the horizontal shift is simply the midpoint of your interval. That is what you should use as a horizontal shift. So what is the, it means it's going to be 0 in this case. So 0 is minus b over 1. So this means that b is equals to 0. And clearly you can see there is no horizontal, there is no vertical shift. So it means this graph, we can write it as a tan what? Kx plus b, yes. Now, what is a? A is going to be in minus, so this is minus 2 tan. K is what? K is 1. So it's just going to be minus 2 tan x. This is just minus 2 tan x. And you can decide to write it in terms of cotan as well. And now if you want to write it in terms of cotan, you can just convert from, this is the same thing as minus 2 cotan of what? Pi over 2 minus x, right? Because there is a co-functional identity between cotan and what? And tan. And this will become minus 2 cotan. You can put a minus here so that this can become x minus what? X minus pi over 2, right? And this will just become minus 2. This minus can come out, so here becomes just 2 cotan of what? Of x minus pi over 2. So any of this is correct. Okay. All right, now let's look at this one. So here also you can see something here. Always look at this point. Look at this middle point. It tells you that there is like a shift here because the baseline has been shifted. Yeah, the baseline is shifted. This is minus 1. And we can still find our period. It's not a problem. The period is still what's pi over k. And this, if you look at this graph, this is also decreasing, yes? Now, since it's decreasing, you can use, it's either two ways. You can see it, you can view it as a negative tan, or you just view it as a what? A cotan graph. So let's view it as a cotan. So this is going to be what? N, which is pi over 2 minus what? Minus 0. Okay, this is the end minus the beginning. So let's write the formula out. You say the end minus beginning. So this is pi over k. It's equals to pi over 2 minus what? Minus the beginning, which is 0. So this means that k is equals to 2. Okay. So, and now you can see we can find a, right? We can find a. So what do you think is a here? We can use our formula because this is minus 1. And what is the highest value this is going here? This is the distance. This is going to be our a. And you can see the distance here is 1. The distance also from the baseline to here is also what? Is also 1. So we can see that our a, or you can use these formulas that we say that a plus what c has to be equals to m. But I don't want to use that m because this is not actually our maximum value, right? Because this graph does not have a maximum value. So one way to see your a is from your baseline. We can see that what c is what? We can see that c is minus 1. So the difference between c and this your point here is just 1. A is 1. And now this is A, and also this is what? This is A. So we can find, do we take A to be positive or A to be negative? It depends. If we want to see it as a graph of cotan, then we should take A to be negative because cotan is what? Is decreasing, okay? Now, let's look for the horizontal shift. Horizontal shift is X. So let's say we are seeing it as what's a cotan, kx plus b plus c. So x is minus b over k, right? Now, what are we going to use as what? As our x, which is our horizontal shift. Since you are dealing with the graph of cotan, please listen. If you're dealing with the graph of cotan, your horizontal shift should be your starting point. So this is going to be 0 here because our starting point is 0. If you are dealing with it as a what? A tan graph, your horizontal shift should be the midpoint. And what is the midpoint of this point? Is going to be pi over what? Pi over 4. Is that okay? So depending on how you want to do about it. But here, since we are considering as a cotan graph, just take what? The endpoint. And this is going to be minus b over k, which is 2. So it means that b is equals to what? B is equals to 0. So it means that this graph is just going to be A, we know A is 1, so this is cotan. K is 2, so this is 2x plus 0, then minus what? Minus 1. Because this graph has been shifted 1 unit down. So we can say that y is what? Cotan 2x minus 1. All right. Now, let's do one thing quickly. Let's try to consider this same graph as a graph of what? As a graph of tan. Now, if we will consider it as a graph of tan, let me do it here. Let's assume I'm considering as a graph of tan. So it means y is what? A tan kx plus b plus c, right? So everything, almost everything remained the same, but yes. But in that case, A is going to be what? minus 1 because the graph is decreasing now. A is going to be minus 1. K is still going to be what? We're still going to maintain the same K. I think the K will not change because of the period is still remained the same. So the period we will see it as the period is what? Is pi over K, right? The same. It's still end minus what? Beginning. So this is pi over K. The end is still pi over 2. The beginning is still 0. So we will have that pi over K is equals to what? Pi over 2. And this means that K is equals to what? K is equals to 2. So, but now what will change is when you are dealing with the horizontal all right, so here we will have b over k, but what is pi over what is k? K is 2, so we have pi over 4 is equals to minus b over 2, and this means b is minus pi over 2, right? Now we'll look at it here. Try to understand the difference. Here, if you are considering it as a graph of tan, the horizontal shift, we take the what? The midpoint. And what is the midpoint here? This is the midpoint, which is at pi over 4, right? So that is what we use. But here, when we're considering it as a graph of what? Cotan, the horizontal shift, we take the what? The end point, or which is the starting point here, which is 0. So take note of these these differences. Now, with this now, it means that we can write our equation as what? Minus tan of what? 2x minus what? Pi over 2, then minus 1. So this is also another possible equation for that graph. And if you see this and this are somehow the same, because if you want to rewrite this in terms of tan, what do you have? This is going to be, so this is correct. So you can always go from this to this one. It's possible because you can use the, what's it called? The cofunction identity. And also you can use the period, which is pi. All right, so let's see this one. So for example C, this is the graph given, and you have to look at the options. You see that you take it as a cotan or you take it as a what? As a negative tan. Now, let's see. Look, let's see it as a what? Let's try to take it as a tan, and we take it as a cotan. If you want to take it as a tan, because it's increasing, so tan is the natural one. So this is point. So here you can see that A, clearly A is what? Is 2, right? Clearly A is 2. And if we work with the period, which is going to be pi over what? Pi over k, is going to be the end, which is pi over 4 minus what? Minus pi over 4, right? So we'll have pi over k is just going to be pi over 2. So this means that k is equals to 2, right? Now, you can see the distance from here to here is what is the same. So the distance from here to here, this is our A, right? Is equals to 2. So definitely C is 0, right? So let's work with, this is where the difference we have to watch. For the horizontal shifts, is going to be X is what? Minus B over K. But if you want to consider it as a graph of tan, then you have to take the what? The midpoint. So what is the midpoint? If this is pi over 4, this is going to be pi over 8. is going to be minus pi over 8, right? So the midpoint is actually this one, which is 0. So you consider 0 is minus b over k. And what is k? K is 2. So it means you have this one. So it means that b is equals to 0. Therefore, this graph is just going to be a, which is 2 tan, right? K is what? 2x plus b, which is 0, plus also 0. So y is just 2 tan 2x. Right. But you can see 2 tan 2x is none of the options, right? So we can leave it here, right? Or you can try to transfer this one to what? In terms of cotan, yeah? You can move from here to where? You can take it back to cotan, and simply you can apply the, what's it called? All right. Let's see if we try to apply the co-function identity. Let's say we have 2 cotan, and then let's say pi over 2 minus what? Minus 2x. So this is going to be what? 2 cotan. Then this is going to be minus, you see, 2x. It's going to be 2x minus pi over 2. Now, this is when you want to go from cotan to tan. So this will be minus, this is be minus, then here will become minus pi over 2. So this is going to be 2 cotan of negative can come outside, and this is going to be 2x minus pi over 2, which is not exactly what we are looking for. Right. So, but let's see. Let's suppose we will see it first and see what is the problem. We can go. All right. So you see, this is what we have. Look at this one here. This is simply by using what? By using the co-function identity, you can transform to this one. So these are the same. You have 2 cotan. You use 90 minus 2x, which is 90 minus what? Now you took it, we took a minus out, right? Yeah, we took a minus out, and the fact that cotan is negative, you bring the minus out so that you have this one. But if you look at this, it's not exactly the same as this one. You see, here is 2x minus pi over 2, but this is the same because you know cotan is what? Period of pi. So since it's period of pi, you can add pi to the angle. This is minus pi over 2. You can add pi to it, and the values will be the same. So this is going to be minus 2 cotan of what? 2x. Now minus pi over 2 plus pi would just be pi over 2. So which is the same thing as what we have here. So here, how did we transform from tan to cotan? Firstly, from here to here, we used what? We used the co-function identity. Not just co-function identity, we also use the fact that cotan is what? Is odd, to bring the minus, this minus out. Yes? Then when we get here, you look at your option, it doesn't flow. We can add pi to it, to your angle here, because we know that if you have cotan theta plus pi, it's still the same thing as cotan theta. This is this to the period of what? Of cotan, right? Okay. Now, this is one way. The second way is trying to get it directly as the graph of what? Cotan. So let's try to do it here as the graph of cotan. Let's say y is we want to use this one, cotan kx plus b plus c, right? So if you want to solve it as a graph of cotan, almost everything will remain the same. So let's move it here. So everything will remain the same, except when we come to do the shifting, when we come to apply. So you have y is equals to a cotan kx plus b, right, plus c. So the same way we found the what? The a, right? So in this case, you can see our a is 2. But here we are going to take a to be what? To be minus 2. Because this function is what? Is increasing. So since it's increasing, if you want to see it as cotan, you know, normal cotan is decreasing. So you have to take, it means there is a reflection, right? And also the period is still the same, nothing changed. Pi over k will still be the same as pi over 4 minus pi over 4. And you'll have pi over k, it's equals to pi over 2, right? And this means that, okay, put some space here. So this is pi over 4 minus pi over 4, right? See, so the period, we have pi over k is still the same thing as pi over 2, and k is equals to what? 2. Now, k is equals to 2. We also need to use, this is the main difference when you come to the horizontal shift. You see x is equals to minus b over k. But since we want to consider it as the graph of what? Cotan, we should take the starting point. What is the starting point in the graph? This is the starting point, this one, right? That is what we are going to use. We're going to use the minus pi over what? Pi over 4. So we will use minus pi over 4. So we have minus pi over 4 equals to minus b over k, which is 2. And now you see the minus will cancel minus. So what is b? B is going to be pi over 2 directly. Right. And then you just need to substitute everything. So y is going to be minus 2 cotan of what? K is 2, x plus b is pi over 2. So you see directly, we will get the graph of cotan. So this is one way to solve it using the graph of cotan. Or we can use the graph of tan, then we bring it back to cotan. All right, so this is the last one, D. And what is this one? How can we get the equation? All right, for this question, we just have to look at it carefully to identify that's one period. So one period is going to be between the vertical asymptote. So let's stay between these vertical asymptotes. So whatever happened here is just going to be a repetition of this one. So one period is fine. Now, if you look at this, you will see that the midpoint here is 3 pi over 4. So it means that this point here, somewhere here, but we can also try to see what will be the midpoint here. Okay, it's fine. If you look at it, the starting point is what's, this is going to be a graph of tan because it's increasing. So this is y is a tan kx plus b plus c. And this is where we are. Clearly, where is the maximum? So we are here. So this point is going to be 1. Yes, and this point here should be -1 here. Yes. Okay, but now we need to know this is going to be 1. Let's see the period first. Clearly, A is going to be 1. See, pi over k, which is the period, is going to be the end minus what's the beginning. So pi over k is going to be 5 pi over 4 minus what's minus pi over 4. And this is pi over k. It's going to be just pi, right? Because you'll have 5 pi minus pi is 4 pi divided by 4. So it means that k is equals to 1. So the horizontal shift, x is equals to minus b over k. Now, since I'm considering it as a graph for tan, it means a horizontal shift, I'll take the midpoint, which is 3 pi over 4 is equals to minus b over what? Over k, which is 1. So it means that b is nothing but minus 3 pi over 4. So clearly it means that the graph is just going to be y is equals to tan k is 1, so this is tan x, and b is this, so minus 3 pi over 4. And the c is is 0. So this is the graph, and we can test it. You can just test 1 or 2 points. So let's test f of what's 3 pi over 4. Clearly it's going to be 0. It's going to be tan 0, which is 0. And we can test, look at this point, because we know this point. If this is 3 pi over 4, what is going to be this point? Because if this is 0, the distance from here to here is pi over 4. So this is going to be 2 pi over 4. And this is going to be 4 pi over 4. Because the difference has to be what? Pi over 4. Because this is minus pi over 4. This is 0. From here to here is going to be pi over 4. So this is going to be another pi over 4 distance. This is pi over 4, pi over 4, pi over 4. So we are actually using which of these? We're using this to be the first interval, the second interval, the third, and the fourth. But only 4 is okay. So if you find f of what? Let's use f of 2 pi over 4. We're expected to get -1. So this is going to be tan 2 pi over 4 minus 3 pi over 4. And this is tan minus pi over 4. Surely this is -1. Okay? And that is somewhere here, because this is going to be -1. All right, so that is the end. You can also decide to consider it as a graph of what? Cotan. So you can convert this to cotan, or if you want to consider it as a graph of cotan, let me show us another one that will work here. If you want to see it as a graph of cotan, it simply means you have to take your A. We'll take A. No, I think I should keep this. This is important. Here is what? 2 pi over 4. And here is 4 pi over 4. So if you want to consider it as a graph of cotan, it's going to be A cotan kx plus B plus C, right? A now is not going to be positive. You have to consider A to be negative, right? Yes, A will be -1, but the period, the K will be the same. K will still be the same, which is 1. But what will change now is when you go to the horizontal shift, remember it's going to be x minus b over k, right? So what do you take as x? You take the endpoint. Remember, in this case of tan, we took 3 pi over 4. In the case of cotan, just take the endpoint, or which is your starting point. So you take pi over what? Pi over 4. So pi over 4 is the beginning. Is going to be minus b over k. What is k? What is k is 1. So this means that what? We will get that b is equals to minus pi over 4. So when we write, we will have some difference here. Okay. So it simply means that we're going to have y equals to what? Minus cotan of what? Of x, then minus what? Pi over 4. This also will work directly. Okay. So let's see why we say it will work. Look at this one here. This also will work. Now, if you try to take this to tan, what do we get? You'll have minus tan, it's pi over 2 minus what? X minus pi by 4, right? And this is minus tan, and this is pi by 2 minus x plus pi by what? By 4, right? And we see that this is going to be minus tan. This and this is going to be 3 pi, right? So you have 3 pi over 4 minus x. And this is minus tan. If you take a minus out, what do you have? You have x minus what? 3 pi by 4, you see? And now you can take a minus out because tan is what? Is odd. So this just becomes tan of x minus what? 3 pi over 4, which is the same thing as what we have here. All right, so that is the end of this video on how to obtain graphs when you have the graph of tan and cotan, how to operate the equation. So if you have any questions, you can put it in the comment section. You can as well share with your friends. Thank you for watching.